Hear me clearly. America is not a racist country.
We need to address, well, first of all, no, I don't think America is a racist country.
This video has been brought to you by racism. Racism is accepted wherever true Americans are.
Perfect.
A black Federal Express driver states that he was shot at by two white men during his shift. The 28-year-old man was given pictures to authorities of the vehicle he was using for the delivery, showing the bullet holes from the alleged shooting. D. Monterio Gibson was on the clock working when two white men attacked him Monday, January 24th. The men were identified as Gregory Case, the father, and Brandon Case, the son. The young man, who works for FedEx and was delivering packages in the Jackson suburb of Brookhaven, Mississippi around 7 p.m. when a white pickup truck drove towards the residence located close to the designated address on the drop-off list. Gibson recalls the events of that night, stating, "In my mind, I'm thinking the driver is leaving to go to the store or something like that, but then they get extremely close to me and start blowing their horn. I proceed to leave the driveway. As I'm leaving the driveway, he starts driving in the grass trying to cut me off." After assessing the situation, Gibson states that his instincts kicked in and he swerved out of the truck's way. Gregory Case was driving that truck. The man standing in the middle of Junior Trail with a firearm was Brandon Case, age 35. The young man talked to his manager at the FedEx office once he was able to get to the end of the street and reported the incident. He called the office again and spoke to a different manager who told him that the office will file a police report in the morning. Gibson did not want to wait. He reported the assault himself. The dispatch told the man that they had received a call reporting that, quote, a suspicious person was at the address in question. Gibson responded by saying, "Sir, I'm not a suspicious person. I work for FedEx. I was doing my job." As Gibson continued to tell the story, he mentioned that the man shot at him, to which the dispatcher allegedly responded, "Well, they didn't tell me that." The dispatcher then took his name down and told him that he would give it to a supervisor to continue to document his report. After returning to the FedEx station, the first manager examined the van he was using during the day. Gibson reported that he and the manager found there were bullet holes all in the back of the van and inside packages and everything like that. Carlos Moore of the Cochran firm, the attorney now representing Gibson, showed photos to the outlet and the bullet holes in the truck and the packages, and one bullet on the floor of the by being a uniform delivery driver for FedEx, a look that includes the brand's signature colors and logo. Gibson was driving a white Hertz van at the time of the shooting. On Tuesday, January 25th, Gibson and one of his managers returned to Brookhaven to file a report with the city's department. Police report reads, Mrs. Candace Welch stated that she was Mr. Gibson and that the van had at least 2 bullet holes, one in the back door and one in the bumper, and 3 packages inside had bullet holes in them. Also had a picture of the bullet that was still laying on the van's floor. Gibson alleged that even filing the report made him violated. One of the 3 officers that he spoke to asked him if he did anything to make them think that he looked suspicious. One officer took him back to the scene of the crime and looked for evidence of the shooting, but nothing was found. 6 days after the police report was filed, the father and son turned themselves in. On Tuesday, February 1st, the father was charged with 1 count of conspiracy assault, and the son was charged with 1 count aggravated assault. The cases were released on $75,000 and $150,000 bonds, respectively. Moore stated that, quote, we believe that those are 2 light charges. We believe that this is attempted murder, and they had no justification under the law to do what they did. This man had done nothing wrong, and we believe it was racially motivated. Gibson has alleged that the 2 men who assailed him are related to Brookhaven Assistant Police Chief Chris Case, which is why the 2 men were allowed to turn themselves in a week later. Brookhaven Police Chief Kenneth Collins stated that that is just not true, stating that Case is not connected to the investigation and was told by the officer that he is not related to the father and son. His attorney states that his client plans on approaching the FBI and the Mississippi Bureau of Investigations to open an official investigation and ask the U.S. Department of Justice to prosecute this as a hate crime. Now pay very close attention to this last part. Gibson started working for FedEx during the pandemic in July of 2021. Despite the traumatic incident, FedEx did not change his delivery route. Gibson has not returned to work and is currently on unpaid time off, stating that he was uncomfortable and anxious about resuming the assignment. He is waiting for the delivery service to find a different route for him. Get this out the way, beyond what any excuse anybody could give. Oh, well, he wasn't directly in a marked vehicle. Yeah, he was in the clothes, but how many stories have we heard of people that were in supposed clothes that they bought off of online or wherever they got them from, and then they just went up to somebody and then something nefarious happened? Not saying that that was going to be the case with him, but you could never be too safe and certain. And people have families they have to look after. People have to watch out and care about their own lives because the world is crazy nowadays. At the end of the day, you're going to have a whole bunch of true Americans and many others that will possibly talk about this story. They will deflect and they'll start pointing to something that black people did, or a group of burly black men, or the things that go bump in the night, in order to not actually dive too deep into the story. If you bring up Ahmaud Arbery, they'll decide that they want to deflect and go somewhere else and still state that, oh well, even though such and such and such, he was still looking suspicious, he was still wrong. I'm not sitting up there saying what they did was right, but you want to protect your right. They'll still sit up there and deflect and make it acceptable for the violence that happens to black people. And I'm pretty sure the same exact thing, because history always repeats itself, the same exact thing is going to happen here. Then you're going to have those black people that love to agree and side with the reflective majority, and they're going to try to find a way in order to blame the black victim, because at the end of the day they want to make it seem like anything that takes place, it has nothing to do with race. But if it does have to do with race, let's look at what black people specifically do to other cultures right around the country, and the violence that ensues, and all of the other things that black people do. Right, they like to sit up there and pull that sleight of hand type of deal, even though we have history here showcasing how the laws specifically pertain to black people, to the color of their skin, to stating that black people are inferior beings, and so much more. Right, but they'll still side with the reflective majority, and they're doing that because they know where the money is, and they're going to get that love and support, well, that fake, love and support, and they're going to use that to, pay their bills, right? Because they think that they're different, they think that they're outside of the black box because they're accepted. But regardless of whatever those two groups decide to tell you, or any other group, this was 100% about race. They know that that man was not there trying to take any type of package and then trying to put it directly into that Hertz vehicle. First of all, Hertz is a marked vehicle. If you don't know what a Hertz vehicle is, I don't know exactly what to tell you. Then number two, he was directly wearing the uniform, as I stated before. And then more than likely, he had other packages as well. But like I said before, true Americans are going to do what true Americans are going to do. The main thing that I've always told black people is that it comes a certain point in time where you have to invest in yourself. And I've stated that for a multitude of things. And one of the main things that I've stated is that, hey, go out there and get your license to carry. Go out there and spend some money on training. Stop spending money on foolishness and a variety of other things, right? Now, the issue with this is, right, I don't specifically know the laws pertaining in that state or in that area that he was in. And I'm not sure what would have happened if he would have carried that type of item within the truck while he was doing his job. I'm not sure if, there may be some difficulties with that within the rules. And there's many other variables that also comes with that, because I'm pretty sure some people will be like, yo, this is why I sit up there and carry no matter where I go and everything like that. That is great for the state that you're in. That is great for the town or city that you're in. Every place is different. So unless you know 100% of the law in all 50 states, I would say hold back on that whole thing there. Right? Because everybody has to attack situations differently. Everybody can't go full force like you because you're Rambo and everything else. Everybody can't, go out there and do that. Right? So, this is why I say go for self-defense, go for your license to carry. gain your knowledge up on that, and then know about the laws within your state, town, and city that you are currently in at this moment, so that you are fully prepared of any ramifications, any negative ramifications that may fall upon you by way of both your job and the police, because you decided that, yo, I'm within my rights to protect myself because I am underneath fire and people are obviously coming after me, and I need to do something in order to protect my life and make sure that I get back home at the end of the day. Right now, for me, if he would have decided to do that, if he had that directly on him, I would have felt that he was 100% in the right to defend himself, because he was clearly under fire at that moment in time, and all he was simply doing is being a black man in America doing his job. But yet again, you have a lot of people that want to try to state, oh, black people are lazy, they don't want jobs, they don't want to do anything, yada yada yada. But here we are again with another story of a black man doing his job, and here's the reflective majority trying to get that black man to not do his job. Ain't that something? But I'll leave that where it is. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about this video and everything that I listed in the comment description below. And as always, peace, love, and stay tuned for the next video.